on Jaden Daniels. What do we need to know?
All right, Laura, the Commanders have made the wise decision, to shut down Jaden Daniels for the final 3 games of the season, him dealing with that dislocated elbow injury, and they will start Marcus Mariota for the final 3 games, 2 of which will be against the Philadelphia Eagles, who now will have the challenge of going up against Mariota and not Jaden Daniels here moving forward. As for Patrick Mahomes, the MRI came back, torn ACL. He's going to go to Dallas to visit with Dr. Cooper to get a second opinion, but it won't change the fact that he will need surgery on that torn ACL. There is not thought to be any other damage to any other ligaments. That's the good part for Mahomes here. Meanwhile, Micah Parsons also tore his ACL yesterday, a non-contact injury in Denver where he immediately reached for that knee, and you knew that something was wrong. And the MRI today confirmed that it is indeed torn. He's out for the year. Parsons, Mahomes, both will be in a situation where their expected recovery timeline will be about 9 months, giving them both the chance to be back for the start of next season. And the Packers suffered a number of other key injuries yesterday as well. Christian Watson suffered a chest injury, not thought to be serious. Zach Tom, knee injury. Evan Williams also got hurt yesterday. So there are 3 key Packers on top of the fact that they already were missing Tucker Kraft and Devontae Wyatt and some other key players here. It's been a tough season in Green Bay. It is a war of attrition, and right now the Packers are losing.
Yeah, when you think about just how good they would be with all those guys back on the field, it is a shame. But either way, they've continued to power through. Thanks to Adam. More coming from you later as we continue to tell you what happened on Sunday. And this is the Packers game against the Broncos and Bo Nix. Both teams get a little chippy pregame. What were they talking about?
I like it, but
you love that stuff.
Well, one, you got to fight with your helmet on if the other guy got his helmet on. That's how you get headbutted.
Keep mine on. All right, here's Jordan Love looking deep for Christian Watson. The pass intercepted by Patrick Surtain II.
This isn't good grammar. This is the most stupidest interception of the entire year. What a play by the defensive player of the year.
Saw Watson injured on that play, as Adam told you, not serious. And there's Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton, reeling it in for the touchdown. Broncos down 23-21. Just seconds left in the third. Same score. 2nd and 15 for the Broncos, and Nix finds Troy Franklin for the touchdown.
Yeah, I thought Bo Nix made some real high-level NFL throws in this game, especially that one to Troy Franklin.
Let's go to the fourth quarter. 9 minutes to go. Broncos up 27-26. 4th and 3. Nix goes deep. The grab by Sutton.
This is 4th and 3. This is 1st and goal. You got to understand, they were down by 9 points. They score on 3 straight possessions, touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. So
RJ Harvey punching it in there. Denver up 34-26, and under 3 to go. Jordan Love sacked on the play. The Packers turn the ball over. Here's Jordan Love on the injury to Micah Parsons.
It's very tough. I think anybody on your team that goes down is tough. And Micah, I didn't even see the play, what happened. But anytime you're down on the ground, holding a knee, it's tough. So we'll see what ended up happening. But it's definitely tough. And obviously to lose a player like Micah was a tough blow for us.
You heard his voice in the highlight. Peter Schrager joins us now. Just how tough a loss is it to be looking at this team without Micah Parsons?
He got there. He immediately was a spark plug, both on the field and off the field. Speaking of Packers sources today, they're like, we are going to miss him off the field at practice more than anything because of what he brought to everybody else. But Adam Schefter mentioned it, and you said war of attrition. You're talking about not only Micah Parsons. Van Ness cannot get on the field. He was a former first-round pick. Wyatt's out for this season. They lose Evan Williams yesterday. Now you add Parsons. You're asking guys like Brenton Cox to come back and now be a star on this defense. They had a guy, Jordan Riley, who is an undrafted player from the waiver wire from the Giants, played 20 snaps at defensive tackle. You're asking a lot from players that have been not asked to really carry this defense to step up. And Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator, has to get really creative here. There's a lot of head coaching talk about Jeff Hafley.
Yeah.
If he could put it together with this unit without Parsons and those names, well then yes, this guy's a guy who should be a head coach somewhere.
Micah Parsons was not only a game changer for the Packers, but an organizational changer for the Packers. He had this team thinking about the superiority of this defense along with what Jeff Hafley could do from a defensive coordinator standpoint. But Micah Parsons is hurt because of Bo Nix. And I'm not saying it's one of those things that's Bo Nix's fault, but the violence in which Micah Parsons had to chase Bo Nix the entire second half was extremely evident, whether it was the touchdown to Bandy, the throw to Troy Franklin, getting outside of the pocket and finding Lil Jordan Humphrey. You could see that Micah Parsons was the one person in pursuit of Bo Nix the entire day. And on the injury and on the play he was hurt, Bo Nix attempted to get outside. He found Mims, and you could see Micah redirect in order to keep him in the pocket. That was part of what he'd seen the entire night and the way Bo Nix was able to attack that defense. Bo Nix was amazing last night, and it's sad you lose a great player like Micah Parsons, but it was because of the effort he needed to give in order to get to Denver's
It's
quarterback.
an interesting way to look at it. And again, we just hate it for Micah Parsons. We'll see what the Packers can do from here. Let's turn our attention to the Broncos and specifically what they've been able to do. The Broncos have trailed in 11 of their 12 wins this season, tied with the 2024 Chiefs for the most in a single season in NFL history. Denver also improved to 10-2 in one-score games this season after finishing 1-6 in those games last season. I mean, sometimes it's a game of inches, but this is just
Colorado
crazy.
Or Pittsburgh behind that.
I think that's Pittsburgh because that's where we are right now.
Colorado
So we're doing well. Yeah, it's cold a lot of places,
All right,
including
go ahead.
Colorado. Mina, RC mentioned Nix and the way that he's using his legs, but you saw some things with his arm in the comeback that stood out.
This is the best game of his NFL career by a pretty significant margin, I thought. I mean, he came into this game ranked 32nd in on-target rate on throws over 10 yards. Every throw was a damn dot. Y'all saw the highlights. And RC, you mentioned the out-of-structure playmaking, and it goes beyond the highlights that you talked about. Even like within the pocket, you saw some movement skills and off-platform throwing ability that I was really impressed by and made life really hard on Green Bay, even when it felt like they got home. But inside the pocket, the confidence behind a very good Broncos offensive line, 9 for 25 for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns inside the pocket. This was the kind of performance that, coupled with the Broncos defense, which we know what they're capable of, makes you think this team could absolutely win a Super Bowl.
Let's dial in on that Broncos defense a little bit because Jordan Love has been really good of late. This Packers offense has shown some things. How are they able to keep him in check?
Yeah, in recent weeks, obviously, we talked about it. You and Dan and RC talked about how this offense needed to open up and take shots down the field. Vance Joseph played defense in order to try to speed Jordan Love up. And I love what he did with his linebackers in the A-gap, obviously, but running games off of him. Drake Greenlaw and you see Singleton here. This is one of those situations where you want to force interior pressure in the pocket. He drops Greenlaw out. He runs a twist, but he's getting his defensive end and his defensive tackle into the pocket early while you see Jordan continue to sink. But the pressure is there now. They want to push the ball down the field in Green Bay. Then you show a double A-gap pressure once again. This time you let Singleton pick, and now you create an interior game as well, and you're able to get inside interior pressure on Jordan Love, force him to get up into the pocket where your rush is coming from. And this was an effort made by Vance Joseph because he understood, looking at the recent weeks, you saw Christian Watson over people's head. You saw Jordan Love sinking back into the pocket, pushing the ball down the field. That was 2 plays, but there were multiple plays when Jordan Love had to throw off of his back foot because of interior pressure. I thought he did a phenomenal job of speeding up that clock in an offense that wanted to be explosive.
Well, those were zone pressures, by the way. Sorry to jump in, but we talked about, were they going to play as much man? Played way more zone in this one. Interesting adjustment from Vance Joseph.
Packers offense has been lighting up everybody. 32 yards in the second half when it mattered most, and the Broncos scored 3 straight. I would say this: Bo Nix, to Mina's point, best game of the season, maybe best game of his career. Also, 12th straight home game going back to last year. So if they do have that home field advantage as the 1 seed, you're going through Denver with a bye. Like, this is serious hardship and a place to play for a road team. Not everyone can travel like that, especially going into that environment.
Well, I think this is what you were waiting on from Bo Nix. I think it was a lot of hesitation to say that the Denver Broncos could go win the Super Bowl with some of the erratic play of the quarterback. But you think about some of the things we were able to see against the Commanders, and then you roll that again into the Vegas game. And so now we got to see him gain that confidence. And Mina's correct. What we saw from the pocket, the 2 big throws to Cortland Sutton in press man situations couldn't have been thrown any better. But there were also some plays made intermediately from him in the pocket that I thought the way he picked apart zone, which he struggled with at times, that showed the way that he's starting to take a step forward. And this is going to be an extremely difficult team to beat, especially if you have to go to Denver.
They clinched a playoff spot. No celebration afterwards. No big deal. They didn't talk about it in the press conference. Like that.
I mean, Sean talked about it before the season.
This team believes that their goal is the Super Bowl.
And I don't know. I don't want to speak too strongly on this, but it felt like Bo Nix was maybe the one thing that was holding people back on that. And it doesn't feel that way anymore to the points that you guys are making.
Yesterday.
He grew up. Big boy, Bo. All right, we got more coming your way here on